Have you ever stopped to think about how many epic Marvel battles were decided by the sound of a blade cutting through the air? There are swords that carry a curse. There are swords born from the fury of a god. And there are swords that can destroy the universe with a single strike. In a world full of heroes in futuristic armor and villains who manipulate realities, swords still have a sacred place at the top of the most legendary weapons of all time. In this video, we're going to step into the sacred hall of 8 of Marvel's most legendary swords. Get ready for blades forged with magic, blood, soul, and even cosmic energy. Each one has a story that'll give any comic fan chills. Muramasa. Imagine a sword so powerful that even Wolverine's healing factor can't resist its cut. Yeah, the Muramasa isn't just a sharp blade. It's a symbol of revenge, rage, and pure pain, all condensed into metal. Forged by the mysterious Muramasa, an immortal blacksmith in the Marvel Universe, this sword carries part of Logan's soul. That's right, Wolverine himself gave up his rage and suffering for the blacksmith to shape the blade. The result? A weapon that can ignore healing factors, cut through energy fields, and leave wounds that never heal. But the creepiest part of the Muramasa is that it doesn't just cut the body. It destroys the enemy's soul. It's been used by Logan, but also ended up in the hands of villains like Daken, his son, which just made the path of destruction even bigger. In several stories, the Muramasa is treated as one of the only weapons that truly puts Wolverine in danger. It's more than just a weapon. It's a scream of pain turned into a blade. Twilight Sword. If the Muramasa is powered by hate, the Twilight Sword is fueled by apocalypse. Created by the fiery hands of Surtur, the fire giant from Muspelheim, this sword is just huge. So big that it slices through entire dimensions like they're melted butter. The first time the Twilight Sword showed up, it didn't just come to scare, it came to threaten the whole Marvel Universe. Surtur's plan was to use this blade to destroy the 9 realms and set everything on fire until only primordial fire was left, and he almost pulled it off. In the Ragnarok saga, this sword plays a key role as a symbol of the end of days in Asgard. Only Thor, Odin, and Loki together could stop the destruction it would have caused. To give you an idea, even Galactus kept an eye on it as a potential weapon of mass destruction. What's crazier is that, after all these battles, the Twilight Sword always comes back. Because as long as there's chaos, this blade will find a way to rise again. Imposing, apocalyptic, and worthy of gods. Ebony Blade. The Ebony Blade is beautiful, dark, and completely cursed. This is the weapon carried by the Black Knight, a title passed down through generations in the Dane Whitman bloodline. Forged with black magic by none other than Merlin, the Merlin from the King Arthur legend, this sword is practically indestructible and can cut through anything, from cosmic armor to complex spells. But here's the catch. The more blood you spill with it, the more you're consumed by its curse. It feeds on anger, the killer instinct, and corrupts the soul of the wielder until they become a slave to their own fury. No wonder the Black Knight is always on the edge of becoming the villain in his own story. There are moments in the comics where Dane nearly loses everything. His sanity, his friends, even the sense of who he really is. All because of the dark power of the Ebony Blade. And yet, he keeps wielding it, because it's also the only thing that keeps him fighting against evil. Recently, the sword made its way back into the spotlight in the MCU with Dane Whitman's appearance in Eternals. And the whisper of a mysterious voice, possibly Blade, has already sent chills down everyone's spine. Legendary sword? For sure. But being worthy of it might just be the worst curse a hero could carry. And speaking of curses, the next sword not only carries a dark god in its origins, but it was also the first weapon of one of the most dangerous beings in Marvel. All Black. The Necro Sword. Before Venom, before Carnage, there was All Black, the first symbiotic entity in Marvel history. This isn't just a sword, it's a living entity, born from the primordial void and shaped by K'nul, the dark god of the symbiotes. Picture this. The universe was still being formed, and an ancient being creates a sword made of pure darkness to kill gods. That's All Black, and it did just that, killed a lot of them. Kunal used the Necro Sword to wage war against creation. He literally decapitated a celestial with it. The blood that spilled from that fight mixed into the sword and created the symbiotes we know today. But the sword didn't stop there. It was wielded by Gore, the God Butcher, in one of Thor's most brutal stories. With all black, Gore nearly wiped out an entire divine race, traveling across space and time with a fury that few could stop. The sword gives its wielder insane strength, regeneration, shadow manipulation, and even interdimensional travel. But there's a catch. The longer it bonds with the user, the more they lose themselves. Because all black serves no one, it just pretends to obey until it swallows your soul. It's like the very concept of despair took the shape of a blade. Hofund, Heimdall's sword. Out of all the swords in Marvel, few have as strategic a role as the legendary Hofund, Heimdall's sword, the guardian of Asgard. This isn't just a combat weapon. It's literally the key that opens and closes the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge connecting the 9 realms. With it, Heimdall can transport gods, warriors, and even dangerous enemies between dimensions with a single strike on the pedestal. But don't be fooled. Despite its mystical role, Hofund is a war sword. In Heimdall's hands, it's taken down armies, cut down powerful beings, and defended Asgard during critical moments. What's even crazier is that Hofund is tied to Heimdall's power of sight. It responds to his awareness, allowing him to locate any being anywhere, even if the universe is falling apart. In the MCU, Hofund's been highlighted in several battles, and the scene where Heimdall summons the Bifrost in Avengers Infinity War is one of those that'll give chills even to the most hardcore fan. It's not the most powerful sword in Marvel, but it's definitely one of the most important, because in the end, whoever controls the portals controls the destinies. Hey, did you hit the like button yet? If any of these swords gave you chills in the comics or movies, go ahead and smash that like right now. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, because every week we drop new videos diving deep into this insane multiverse we all love. And if you thought it was amazing to have a sword that commands realms, get ready. The next one's made from the user's very soul, and it channels the darkest, most mystical side of the Marvel mutants. Soul Sword. Some swords wound the body, others wound the soul. But the Soul Sword? It was forged from the very soul of its user, the mutant Illyana Rasputin, also known as Magic. This sword was born when Illyana mastered the mystical powers of Limbo, a hellish realm where she was trapped as a child. There, facing unimaginable horrors and learning witchcraft, she channeled her inner power and shaped a unique, living weapon. The Soul Sword has a striking look, a mystical blade that glows with arcane energy. But the craziest part is that it's practically unbeatable against magic. Spells, summons, demons, and even supreme sorcerers tremble before it. Every time Illyana wields it, her body transforms, revealing horns, glowing eyes, and a demonic aura. The sword amplifies both her heroic and dark sides, and only those with a connection to Limbo can actually touch it without being consumed. It's been briefly passed on to other mutants, but it always returns to its original owner. And in battles like X of Swords, it showed why it's one of the most respected and feared weapons among the X-Men. It's a living blade, a channel for magical power, and the reflection of a soul that's faced hell and came back stronger. Odin's sword. Imagine a sword so colossal that if it were fully drawn, the universe could literally cease to exist. That's the Odin sword, a weapon so legendary that even the gods tremble at the sound of its name. Kept in the vaults of Asgard and surrounded by millennia-old myths, the Odin sword is said to be the last line between the cosmos and absolute chaos. According to the legend, if the sword is fully drawn from its sheath, the fabric of reality tears. Literally, it's appeared in several comic book sagas, but always surrounded by mystery. In some versions, it was forged by Odin using the remnants of a previous universe. In others, it's so ancient that even the gods don't know its true origin. It's powerful. It's cut through dimensional portals, ripped apart cosmic entities, and withstood magic that warps time. And most importantly, it should only be used in the event of the end of the world. If Odin, or anyone else wields this sword, it means the war has reached its final point. It's the weapon of last resort, or of inevitable destruction. But what if I told you there's still a sword that goes beyond divine power? A blade that resonates with the heart of the cosmos, capable of rivaling even the Infinity Stone. Infinity Sword. Most of the swords in Marvel are tied to magic, technology, or ancient rage. But the Infinity Sword is a rare gem, a weapon forged with pure cosmic energy, connected to the very fabric of the universe. This sword is not well known by the general public, but among the more hardcore comic readers, it's considered one of the most underrated and insanely powerful weapons ever created. It appeared in the miniseries Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity Ending, as a weapon created to rival the power of the Infinity Stones. Yes, you didn't hear wrong. This sword was made to take on Thanos himself, the Mad Titan, when he had all the stones. And it didn't break. It didn't fail. It withstood. The Infinity Sword can manipulate space, time, and matter, channeling energies that defy any known logic. Whoever wields it enters a state of cosmic awareness, like every swing is a collision of galaxies. And here's the detail that'll blow any nerd's mind. In some parts of the multiverse, this sword was the only one capable of stopping entities like the Living Tribunal and even alternate versions of Galactus. It's rare, unstable, and almost never seen. But whenever it shows up, the message is clear. Nothing is impossible when you're holding the power of infinity in your hands. Drop a comment below telling us which of these blades you think is the craziest and which one we missed. Maybe we'll do a part 2. And if you like these insane Marvel weapons, just wait till you see what DC has to offer. Click on the video popping up for you right now and check out 8 of DC's most powerful cosmic artifacts. There's a relic that bends reality, challenges the new gods, and even makes the Green Lantern Corps look weak. Head over there because this video is from another universe.